And welcome back. In this Sunday's Desert Sun, a special report about plans for the Palm Springs Plaza Theater. Bruce Fessier is celebrating 40 years with the Desert Sun. He's with us. It's good to see you.
Thanks for the plug.
Yeah, well, you know what? You had a great party and you certainly deserved it.
Thank you.
So this Sunday, the plans for the Plaza. Is it going to happen? Is it not going to happen?
Well, they have to raise a lot of money, and right now there's a steering committee, which your boss, Gina Lamont, is on, and they're being charged with creating a fundraising strategy for the Plaza. And what they want to do is raise $10 to $14 million, and even that's not going to be enough.
Really?
Yeah. They commissioned a report by this architectural firm called Gensler, and Gensler estimated that it was going to cost $10 to $14 million. J.R. Roberts, the councilman who is in charge of the subcommittee, thinks that is hoping that they can get by with $10 million and then maybe use the rest, $4 million, for an endowment to operate it. But it never happens like that, and theaters don't make money. Suzanne Summers has offered to come in and run the theater and perform at the theater and use the theater for some of her endeavors, which would offset some of the losses that theaters naturally incur. But right now, the city really wants to see who else is interested in it, how much money they can raise, and whether they can restore it to its old glory.
But don't they want somebody like a Suzanne Summers, somebody who lives here, to actually be involved, rather than maybe somebody from outside the city, outside the state? Yes,
they do, but they don't really want to cede control to any one person. The city sees this as sort of a legacy project. JR calls himself a bleeding heart preservationist, and what he wants to do is restore the theater, whereas people like Suzanne Summers and Harold Matzner just want to renovate it. They just want to get it looking good and improve the technical and the aesthetics and get it up and running.
And what's wrong with that?
Well, there's nothing wrong with that, except for that Palm Springs has built its brand on some of the mid-century modern architecture in the area, and they would like this to be the jewel of downtown.
But the outside...
It's not mid-century modern.
No, it's not at all.
But it's historical, and the fact that they have monetized the history of Palm Springs, they're thinking that this would be almost like a museum in downtown Palm Springs, and they're hoping that people will come just to see the place.
And that's a good idea, too.
Well,
don't you think?
How many people go to theaters to look at the theater?
No, but something like that, because of the history of this one, where the Follies were performing. I mean, when you came to Palm Springs, you know, part of the itinerary was you had to see a show at the Plaza.
Right. And that, as Harold Matzner says in my story, Riff Markowitz was a genius. I mean, the fact that he kept that going for 23 years.
Wow.
One show, 23 years. I mean, really, they set a Guinness Book of World Records. They were such a phenomenon, they got media around the world. It doesn't happen very well. And I gotta say, during those performances, they had 16 people using a dressing room that's the size of a one-bedroom apartment. So
why did it close?
Well, they were struggling financially. Basically, baby boomers don't like to take buses, and they built their marketing was all around getting people from throughout Southern California to get on a bus, to go to Palm Springs, and then go back to wherever they came from.
Yeah. Well, it's going to be interesting to see what happens, and you know, it is a gem and a jewel, so hopefully something's going to happen, but we'll read all about it in Sunday's paper.
Yep.
Bruce, good to see you again.
Thank you.
As always.
All right.
All right, stay with us. We'll be right back.